Welcome back to the Stelly and Rammer Show on this Friday night. Excited to be joined by not just one, but two very popular wrestlers, especially here in St. Louis. We welcome Olympic gold medalist and multi-time world heavyweight champion Kurt Angle into the studios, as well as, I believe you've held 48 different titles, and one of St. Louis's favorite, D'Lo Brown.
Oh, what's going on, man? It's somewhere up there, but not as much as this guy. I'd trade all 48 in for one world title, I'll tell you that.
I don't know, but you didn't have a villa in Poland at one time while you were Intercontinental champ, did you, Kurt?
A what?
What was it? You used to say you had a villa in Poland?
I had a villa in Poland, a chalet in France. When I was European champ, I was all over, man.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. He was actually the first Eurocontinental.
Yeah, I was the first year. But even though Kurt said I didn't count, it's okay.
Count, yeah. I was the first, yeah.
Is that what the Smack Talk is kind of like? When you guys are, obviously, you're in town. Tonight, you're going to be down at the Black River Coliseum in Poplar Bluff.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, you're going to be back here in St. Louis, down at St. Louis University at Shavitz Arena. When you guys are traveling together, is that what the Smack Talk is like? You're like, well, it's great you were Eurocontinental, but I've got this little world championship.
Yeah, you know, he'll do the trump card out to be like, yeah, you're in Continental champ, right? And I'll go, yeah. And he goes, yeah, me too. You were European champion, right? Yeah, me too. I was 19-time world champ. Were you? No. Sorry, no, Kurt.
Actually, you know, what's funny is I started watching 98, and he's one of the reasons why I was interested. I watched him and Dwayne The Rock. Austin,
Nation days.
The Nation.
Yeah, when he wore the catcher's thing and, and shook his head, and it was so entertaining. I was glued to the TV. I became a fan because I never watched before that. And with the Attitude Era, you know, with D'Lo and the Nation and Stone Cold and Undertaker and you know, it was just like an evolution that, you know, I didn't watch in the past, but I still never saw anything like it before. And they were all amazing athletes.
Right.
So I thought, wow, man, this is the cool place to be.
Yeah.
And so I tried out.
We've obviously talked numerous times over the years, and I think I've told you before, I was actually in Detroit. I drove up for Survivor Series at the Joe when you made your debut back in '99.
Yeah.
Do you realize, and I was just kind of noticing this today, you've spent almost half your career now in TNA. Besides what you did in WWE, you're approaching halfway at that point.
Almost. I was about 6.5 years in WWE and a little over 6 years now in TNA. Yeah, it's hard to believe because, you know, everybody says you had such a long career in WWE. I didn't. I didn't even go 7 years. So, yeah, it's kind of ironic that you said that. I didn't think about it till this week.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Because it seems like every time I'm on Twitter, and by the way, people can follow you at Real Kurt Angle. They can find out what's going on, and you're pretty active on there. The big topic is Kurt Angle's contract status. What's going on? You made it pretty clear you're not going anywhere. You're staying in TNA.
Yeah, I signed a 3-year deal last year.
Hold on, I can speak on this. Kurt's not going anywhere. I will break his ankle. He's not going anywhere.
Wait, that's his move. You can't use that.
Shh, that's the big insult. I use his move against him. It's wrestling, brother.
You know what, man? Right now, there's such a hot roster, and we have great agents like D'Lo and Al Snow and
Pat Kenny.
It's just you're going to bring up Pat Kenny. Oh,
he's got to be intolerable with Notre Dame being good again this year.
Oh man, he's killing us with the Notre Dame.
Insufferable.
Yeah, I can believe it.
But no, we have a good team, and we're all positive. We're all trying to help each other. There isn't any politicking. Nobody, you know, trying to pull each other down. It's more of a teamwork concept, which I really like.
Yeah.
And Deal doesn't come to the house shows late, so.
Yes. Come on, brother, you're killing my secrets off. You know, I'll second what Kurt says. I mean, to me, it's a roster that just, it reminds me a lot of the early Attitude Era, where it's we're all out there trying to help each other get better for the greater good, and if the greater good does well, then we all do well. And it is not uncommon to watch Kurt Angle sitting behind the curtain watching the first match, and before I can give them an earful of what they did or didn't do, Kurt's pushing me back to give them that advice that he saw. So our roster is getting perspective from guys who have been on the top and in various places in the card and have wrestled for a long time. So we've got a really, really good roster, an all-star team, and we've got great talent behind them helping them out. I mean, it's a good vibe in our locker room right now.
Yeah, and speaking of some of those young guys, we don't know who they are as of yet because they haven't taken the mask off, but Aces and Eights put a little beating on last night.
Yeah,
scary guys there.
Yeah, there was one in particular that that beat the crap out of me, but I won't say who it is.
That was a big guy. I watched him. I ran from him. He's just scary.
Well, you know what? I was wondering because when they came out, and obviously it was their chance to get a little payback, so to speak. You've been known to work a little stiff from time to time. You've admitted
Yeah,
you
I
deliver.
am
So
stiff, yes.
I was wondering if some of those guys were like, "Oh, it's a little payback. I'm gonna be able to get a shot in on Kurt right here." You
know what? Now that I'm older, I've kind of toned back my style because I'm not going to dish out what I can't take, and I don't want anybody breaking my jaw. Last night, Jeff and I had an amazing match. It was awesome.
Yes.
And there was a spot where I thought he was going to clothesline me, and he came up with an elbow, and he knocked my mouthpiece out. I thought my teeth got knocked out.
So that was the bloody lip or mouth?
Yeah,
okay, all right.
And, you start thinking when you get older, take it easy on them, and they'll take it easy on you. And if they don't take it easy on you, you got to pull them aside and say, listen, it's hard enough out there as it is. Wrestling's brutal as it is, no matter what you think or say. Now you have to throw it in and start throwing real punches and real kicks. Now there's going to be a war, so you don't want that to happen. You kind of want to work together and try to protect each other as much as you can because it's so dangerous as it is.
No question. Kurt Angle, D'Lo Brown, Brian Sull with you here on 101 ESPN. And while we're kind of meshing the past with the present, mentioned tonight you guys are in Poplar Bluff, Black River Coliseum. Great facility because there's not a bad seat in the house. It's great for wrestling. Last time I believe you were there was with ECW when you were wrestling that route. I remember talking to you after the show, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but you had an ice pack on your neck. The arm was kind of by the side. There was a little bit of a limp there. You were in some rough physical shape, and you told me, yeah, the doctor said I need to stay away from this. I need to stay away from this. And then you looked at me and you said, I can't do it. I get in there, and I just go. How you feeling today?
I've smartened up. No, I'm actually better now. I held a lot of anger to people in another company that when it comes down to it, there's a certain pace you go at a house show, and it's you still want to give a 5-star match, but there's a big difference between that and pay-per-view and even TV, which is in the middle. I was given pay-per-view matches every night, 300 days a year. I did that to myself, and that's something I'm going to have to live with. I'm more banged up now because of it. I would have a longer career if I would have set my priorities.
You're probably one of the only guys with the neck fusion who's still wrestling.
I don't have neck fusion.
Well, what doctor? Who's
I had neck repair. That's why I'm still wrestling.
Okay. Then you did the experimental, but all right. So say everybody else did a little bit, but you're the only one still going.
Yeah, I thank God. I found a doctor. What he did is he does arthroscopic surgery of the neck, like you would cartilage in a knee. If there's a disc sticking out, he cuts part of that disc off that's blocking the nerve. He lets the vertebrae heal. But I mean, the surgery, you're in one day, you're out, you're in the gym the next day. I mean, it's the best method I've ever heard of because the doctor that did Austin surgery told me I would have to have four fused, which means I would have had to retire. I got up out of his office and I left. And then I went to another doctor. He said, I can repair you. You'll be ready in a week. Okay, let's do it. And it worked.
Yeah, and 6-7 years later now, you are still in the ring. How, because you mentioned last night, you and Jeff Hardy did. It was a great match. It was fun to watch, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more in that direction perhaps. But, how has your style had to change in the ring? Because you've got that competitive spirit. It's hard to shut it off, even I know when you want to.
You know what? I still am very intense. I don't run a lot. I stay in the middle. If you notice, what I do are suplexes. Guys run to me. I belly to belly. I German suplex them. I angle slam them. I keep most of the ankle lock. Most of my matches, I'm not the one hitting the ropes. I'm in the middle of the ring. I take care of myself because when you start running those ropes, those boards shake. Then your knees get. D'Lo will tell you this. Your knees get messed up. Your knees are like suspensions. And after a while. They tend to go. D'Lo actually hooked me up with a doctor. This knee was shot, and I got a certain medication put in here, that cortisone shot, and it helped tremendously. But I mean, I started thinking, oh my gosh, I can't I can't be doing much running anymore, and it has a lot to do with running the ropes in the ring. It's not. People don't know how brutal wrestling can be.
Yeah, and they should. If they pay a little closer attention for it being sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Again, the laundry list of injuries that you guys go through just on a normal sort of wear and tear basis, I think would surprise a lot of people.
And people get caught up in the entertainment part of it, and they realize they omit the sports part. And we are athletes out there pounding our bodies, and I mean, you can equate us to an NFL football player, the number of bumps and hits we take, and you know, I don't care what people say, you can never train your body to fall from 15 feet. You just can't. And there's no way you can learn how to protect yourself or brace yourself. You just learn the best way to fall, but it still hurts.
Yeah, fall out of bed 10 times in a row and then see how you're
see-
feeling.
see
a little
how you
later.
feel.
Yeah, you can't fake gravity. There's some realities that are out there.
Seriously.
D'Lo Brown, Kurt Angle. I could talk to you guys for hours, but I know time is limited, so I greatly appreciate you. You're dropping in. You're welcome here anytime, and
Thank you.
welcome back to St. Louis. It's good to see you guys.
It's great to be in St. Louis. Thank you.
All right,
Love this town.
Kurt Angle, D'Lo Brown. I'm Brian Stull. We're back with more on 101 ESPN right after this.